of mini launch in SolidWorks 2015 software. This is the opening screen. Now, before we go into the part assembly or drawing environment, let us take a look of what we have in front of the screen. On the upper left corner, we have the standard toolbar. We can create a new document, open existing document, save, print, along with the other options. If we select the board of SolidWorks, a flyout menu appears, giving us access to several drop-down menus: File, View, Tools, Help. I recommend you to pin this menu. Then you will see the standard toolbar dot to the right. On the upper right hand corner, we have a window called Search Words Help. This allows you to find and run SolidWorks commands. Now let us begin a new document. I am going to select a new icon. A new SolidWorks document dialog box appears. As you notice, we have three environments: part, assembly, and drawing. I am going to select part and then select OK. Now when you first go into the part environment, it is always good into making a practice of making sure your units are set correctly. Right now says my units are mmgs, millimeters, gram, second. If you are going to work in different units, you can simply select units from this menu. I'm gonna leave this at mmgs. Now this area of the screen is called the graphics area. This is where you create your sketches, parts, assemblies, and drawing. On the far left hand side of the screen, we have our feature manager design tree. Now to better demonstrate this, I will select open and the part file opens on the screen. Now let us take another look at the feature manager design tree. This feature manager design tree has all the parameters that we have used to create this model. This consists of sketches and features. If you recall, SolidWorks is a parametric feature based model. That means that we can go back to this feature manager design tree in the part environment or the assembly environment or the drawing environment and make changes. And those changes will be reflected in the other environments. In SolidWorks 2015, a new feature called Dynamic Reference Visualization was added to display graphical relationships between items in the Feature Manager design tree. Dynamic Reference Visualization allows you to see the parent-child relationships. To turn this option on, right-click the assembly name and select the Dynamic Reference Visualization icon. When you hover your cursor along an item like Extrude 7, you will see a blue arrow pointing from child to the parent. Now let us take a look at the top of the screen. Here we have what we call the command manager, and notice we have different tabs which brings up different ribbons. We have a feature ribbon, sketch ribbon, evaluate ribbon, and then if we right mouse click on any one of the tabs, we can see a menu allowing us to select other ribbons. For example, if I right mouse click on evaluate and select the sheet metal ribbon, the sheet metal ribbon opens up. In the top middle of the graphics area, we see a heads up view toolbar. This is the handy way to get some of the most common commands that you use when you are creating sketches, parts, assemblies, and drawings. For example, zoom to fit, zoom to area. Here is a very useful one, previous view, and we then have our different orthographic views. We have the front view, the top view, the left hand side view, bottom view, right hand side view, and the rear view. And if you have this option selected here, view selector, by simply tapping the space bar, you can select a face to give you a certain view, for example, front view, or a right hand side view, or the top view, or the isometric view. And that isometric view can be from around any one of the corners, or even a bottom view. Now let's go back to the isometric view by selecting the spacebar one more time. Now notice we can also select the edges, but if you look closely, there are couple edges in corners we can't get to. For example, this back edge here and this back corner. So how do we get to those? We simply hold on the Alt key. You can see they are highlighting the back edge. So this view cube is very handy. I think you're gonna find this very easy to use and a quick way to move the view around the screen to give you different perspectives of the view. Along with that, we have a drop down menu which allows us to view or not to view around the screen, along with some appearance settings. And to the far right, we have this item called the task pane, and in this task pane we can do many different things. If we expand it, we have access to many SolidWorks tutorials, very handy. Along with this Training Master video tutorials, you will find many tutorials inside the SolidWorks 2015 software. We also have a selection for the design library. We can go off to different vendor sites and pull the components in to our parts and assemblies. We can also create drawing views, change appearance, and change custom properties. Lot of information here, more than we can cover in this lesson, but then it gives an idea. You do have many resources in here. And now then, if we go into the assembly environment, you can see that the user interface looks very similar. What is the difference is the command manager. You will have different tabs, different ribbons, because we are in different environment. And the same is true with the drawing environment. Although the screen looks the same, however, we have a drawing sheet here. We still have a feature manager design tree along with the command manager and some different ribbons. So that gives you a good idea of the SolidWorks 2015 user interface. Now let's just move on to the next lesson.